What if your brain stopped filtering reality for exactly 60 seconds? Right now, you aren't feeling the weight of the clothes resting on your shoulders. You aren't noticing the low ambient hum of the room you're sitting in. That's because of a mechanism called the sensory filter. It actively deletes the vast majority of physical information hitting your body before it ever reaches your conscious thought. The world you experience daily is a heavily censored, extremely narrow fraction of what is actually happening around you. Human perception is not an accurate window to the outside world. It is a highly curated illusion designed specifically to keep you comfortable. The human body physically encounters an absurd volume of invisible data every single second. Millions of raw sensory data points crash into your nerve endings simultaneously, but only a microscopic trickle enters your conscious awareness. This restriction is maintained by a neurological dam known as sensory gating. It continuously holds back the flood, deciding what gets discarded. Everyday passive environmental noise, the temperature of the floor, the smell of your own living room, the friction of the air against your skin, are the first things to hit this gate and get permanently deleted. Without this aggressive, non-stop deletion process, your conscious mind would instantly drown in meaningless physical information. Imagine that sensory gate completely shutting down right now. The very first wave of sensory overload isn't from the outside. It's the sudden unmuting of your own internal biology. You suddenly hear your circulatory system in high fidelity, the rush of blood moving through the vessels in your neck, the loud booming impact of your own heartbeat echoing directly in your skull. Then comes the tactile shock. You feel every involuntary internal movement, the complex process of digestion, the microscopic twitches of individual muscle fibers firing and releasing all over your body. The human body is inherently loud and chaotic. Filtering out our own biology is the crucial first step just to maintain sanity. Then the overload expands outward. Your visual processing spikes as you suddenly notice every single micro shadow, every drifting dust particle, and the rapid, invisible fluctuations of the light bulbs above you. The auditory stack piles on. The electrical buzz of those lights, the low hum of plugged-in appliances, and the subtle structural groans of the building you are in all become deafening. Finally, the ultimate tactile burden drops onto you. You feel the literal barometric air pressure resting heavily, constantly, across every inch of your skin. At this point, your brain hits critical mass. Your neurons are firing in a disorganized storm, unable to distinguish a meaningful signal from the surrounding noise. You simply lack the hardware to process 100% of reality. This lack of bandwidth leads to a catastrophic crash. As your visual cortex misfires, you experience intense hallucinations and severe panic, until your brain initiates an emergency system shutdown, resulting in a total blackout. Unfiltered reality is a physiological poison that destroys your ability to function. Let the filter come back online. Return to the quiet, calm, muted perception of the room you are in right now. The universe is not the quiet, manageable, limited place we perceive it to be. Every single stimulus your brain processes requires a burst of metabolic energy. To track every dust mote, every heartbeat, and every change in air pressure simultaneously would require an unsustainable surge of glucose and oxygen. Human evolution favored a heavily censored reality because an accurate perception of the world is biologically too expensive to sustain. We simply cannot afford the fuel required to see everything. Your brain does not limit your reality to trick you or deceive you. It limits reality entirely so that you can survive it.